Okay, I'll resume recording. Uh, Maybe I'll record. Well, first, this is a McGill shirt I got. I graduated McGill University. This I went to celebrate when they had a McGill reunion. So I went there and I got that T-shirt too. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I think I was gonna read the A&E top 10, but I don't remember the top 100, and it's also those for the last 1,000 years. So what I'm going to do is maybe I'll do quickly the list of the 100 or so of all time according to heart, and more quickly. So just a quick summary. Maybe it's better. Okay, so like I said, okay, so quickly, number one was Muhammad. Number two, Isaac Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. Number three, Jesus Christ. Number four, Buddha. Number five, Confucius. Number six, Saint Paul, also Christianity. Number seven, Ceylon. Number eight, Johann Gutenberg. Number nine, Christopher Columbus. And number 10, Albert Einstein. Okay, so quickly I'll talk about the other ones, to see what I remember. Number 11, without the dates even. Number 11 here, they say Louis Pasteur. Well, he was actually important for microorganisms, infection, vaccines. Well, right now we have a pandemic for 2 years, so vaccines are very important. A long time ago, they didn't even know there was such a thing as microorganisms. Okay. Louis Pasteur. I think he discovered it when he was observing cows or something. Okay, and there's Galileo Galilei as number 12. He criticized Aristotle's cosmology, and he helped confirm Copernicus's view of the star system, that the Earth goes around the sun, and also that the sun is the center of our solar system. Okay, well, number 13 is Aristotle. Well, I don't know if Aristotle should be much higher on the list. I mean, he influenced people for thousands of years. Aristotle created a huge system. He's the father of logic, and he wrote on many subjects. He lived 62 years, like I said. He lived in ancient times. He influenced, for example, Averroes in Islam, Maimonides in Judaism, and Saint Thomas Aquinas in Christianity in the medieval age, which they say was not productive, but really I think it was one of the most productive times, where you had the debate between religion and philosophy. That was before science, really, in the sense of science the way we understand it today. Okay, so Aristotle. Okay, so then number 14. So 13 Aristotle, number 14 Euclid. Euclid, he wrote many books on geometry. He tried to axiomatize all of geometry of his time. Number 15 Moses. Moses is, of course, the founder of Judaism. Maimonides says that he's the first one to actually create a religion and say it's for the whole people, not just for his family or something. Of course, Christianity and Islam depends on Judaism, so in a way, Moses is very important for them also, for those two religions. And for Christianity and Islam, Islam's like about a billion people, and Islam is like, and Christianity is about 2 billion people. So Moses is very important. And many Jewish people, they used to have many tribes, and many of the tribes of Judaism actually left Judaism. And now you even have like Orthodox Judaism, which is like more like Moses and all that, but You also have conservative Judaism, Reform Judaism, and all that. And that is a lot like Christianity. Well, if Jesus was Jewish, he opened the religion to everybody. Well, even Orthodox Judaism allowed people to convert to Judaism, but you had like 613 commandments. Well, many of them included laws, like crime, like, civil laws and criminal laws anyway, and all that. Laws about marriage and laws about things like that. Trading, laws about trading and business and all that. So it's not that much as you think. Today, if you check the legal code, it has many, many, many volumes of laws. Okay. Even the Bible is 5 books of Moses, but really maybe it's 5 chapters of Moses, because today's books are much bigger than before. Even Aristotle, when he calls something a book, it's more like a chapter, because first of all, they had no paper even. Anyway. So, okay, then number 16, Charles Darwin. Well, the theory of evolution. I don't know if he even proved it, because just one simple idea, anyway, about evolution, natural selection, survival of the fittest. And I don't know if he actually, again, he also went on a cruise on the Beagle. And I don't know if he actually proved that people actually come out of microorganisms. So it's still possible you have evolution. Doesn't mean that it goes all the way back, that there was no creation. Maimonides says if you can prove creation, then you can prove that there is God. Okay, and number 17 is Shi Yung Ti. I don't know what he is. Okay, number 18 is Augustus Caesar. He was an emperor, of course. He ruled an empire. Okay. Number 19 is Nicolas Copernicus. Actually, the Copernican system of the cosmos, of whatever, or the solar system. Well, many planets didn't even know they existed. And let alone now, I think moons, we have like, I don't know if we have 70 moons in our solar system. I thought we had only about 1. I didn't know. And they discovered now 2,000 planets far away from here also already. Okay, Antoine Laurent Lavoisier. I think he was the father of chemistry or something. They might have killed him for his views, I think. Number 21, Constantine the Great. Constantine the Great, I think they helped made, I think he finally brought Christianity as the official religion of the empire. And I think he united the Eastern and Western empires. Number 22 is James Watt. Watt is the unit for power. I don't know if he invented the battery or something. We use batteries for everything now, maybe even too much. Although it's a chemical reaction, maybe one day we'll have batteries based on nuclear reactions, which are much more powerful and last much longer. Even a car uses a battery. It's just a chemical reaction. We need nuclear reactions. We have to make it safe, though. And Michael Faraday's 23. He gave one of the laws of 4 laws of electromagnetism used by Maxwell in his 4 equations. Okay, so number 24 is James Clerk Maxwell. His science, so he actually predicted electromagnetic waves that can exist independently of matter, which is a new kind of substance. And Hertz actually confirmed it. Well, now we use them all the time for communication. And 25 is Martin Luther, which is for the Protestant sect of religion, of Christianity, since he argued that you can actually approach God and you do not have to go through the priest or the church. You can approach God directly. So he got into big trouble for that. Number 26 is George Washington. He was the first president of the United States, and he served, I think, 2 terms, and then he stepped down, which was very strange because, I mean, for a ruler to step down is very strange. I mean, even the Pope usually stays in power till he dies. Although that changed recently with one Pope, he stepped down. So George Washington, I think, is considered one of the greatest presidents of the United States. 27 is Karl Marx. I think that's for communism. Well, communism was a very major factor in 20th century. You even had the Cold War. 28 is Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright, which is the aeroplane, because that's 100 years ago. It was very primitive, but of course, people said we couldn't fly, and so we began to fly. So that was very important. Today we have jet engines and all that. We even had a space shuttle. Genghis Khan was a warrior, so he was ruthless, I think they said, and he's number 29. Number 30 is Adam Smith. He wrote the Wealth of Nations, and it's really basically, he's maybe considered the father of capitalism. Many countries are capitalistic, although now, especially with the internet and all that, people are accepting more social principles. Number 31 is Edward de Vere, better known as William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare, a lot of people praise him, they say, because of all his works that were very influential. He wrote many plays, and they made many of them into movies. Some people say he was a great psychologist, and they don't know where he got his education because he didn't travel much. But really, I mean, don't forget that other people travel, and also that that he probably had a library there at the theater. So number 32 is John Dalton. I don't know if Dalton had to do with I forget what that is. I don't know if it's chemistry or something. Number 33 is Alexander the Great. He conquered a large part of the world. When he was a young man, he died at age 33 or something. He was a student, well, Aristotle tutored him, and in the end, I think Alexander's own people killed him, poisoned, and also killed, I think, his wife and child, and maybe even killed Aristotle too, in the end. But he's very famous, Alexander the Great. He was a conqueror. And number 34 is Napoleon Bonaparte. He was Alexander was more like a Greece or something. Napoleon Bonaparte was France, and he was also a conqueror and an emperor. And he actually became the ruler of France by coup d'etat, or he took it over by force. Number 35 is Thomas Edison, which was a kind of inventor. He became very, very rich with his inventions. Although I don't know if it was mostly him. Maybe he had many engineers working for him. But he had a lot of money, very influential. Thomas Edison. And maybe, there's a movie, I think, he helped establish electricity. Before they used to use gas lights. Now we have electricity in every house, of course. They wanted to close the patent office 100 years ago, but they thought everything was invented, but of course a lot was invented in the 20th century. Number 36 is Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. He was in biology, microbiology. Number 37, William T.G. Morton. That was anesthesia. It was very important. Don't forget, in medicine before, you had to do surgery and all that. And without anesthesia, I mean, God help you. They had to do the surgery as quickly as possible. I don't have to use alcohol or whatever, but I mean, anesthesia is very important. And that's 37, William T.G. Morton, an invention in medicine. Number 38 is Leonie Marconi. Well, that was actually telegraph communication. And when he was going across the border, they thought he had a bomb, so they dismantled it. I think they used it to save a lot of people from the Titanic. Number 39, Adolf Hitler. Well, some people see him as the savior of Germany because Germany was going bankrupt. Some see him as a hero, but millions of people died. Also, millions of Germans were killed in the Second World War. But there's always a war going on somewhere. War is even right now. There's a war going on between Russia and Ukraine. So there's always a war going on. Even the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, destroying 2 cities in the Second World War. I mean, war is very bad. Number 40 is Plato. He was the teacher of Aristotle, and a lot of people could see him as very influential also. He wrote many dialogues, etc. Number 41 is Oliver Cromwell. Forget what he is. Number 42 is Alexander Graham Bell. That's a telephone communication. As I said before, he's a Canadian. Number 43, Alexander Fleming, a biologist. Also, that's Fleming is also microbiology or infection or whatever. Again, like I said, we're in a pandemic now, so that's very important. Number 44, John Locke. Well, he's a philosopher. He was also a politician, political philosopher. He also wrote a book on psychology, I think. Okay, and number 45 is Ludwig van Beethoven. Okay, that's a musician. He wrote a lot of music. Number 46, Werner Heisenberg. You have the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and also he created matrix mechanics, and then later Schrödinger created wave mechanics, and they're considered identical. And Born actually showed what the meaning of the wave function. 47, Louis Daguerre. 48, Simon Bolivar. 49, René Descartes. René Descartes is considered to be the father of the modern age. Well, he united algebra and geometry in science, and in philosophy he gave his meditations and all that. He's a French philosopher. Number 50, Michelangelo is a painter, sculptor, etc. Number 51, Pope Urban II. Well, the Pope, leader of the world's largest religion. I think before they used to be all Italians, but now they changed that. Number 52, Umar ibn al-Khattab. Number 53, Ahsoka. Number 54, Saint Augustine. I read his Confessions. I didn't really read City of God, where he defends Christianity because the empire was collapsing. The Roman Empire was collapsing, so there was problems. But he defended Christianity. I didn't read that City of God. It's a huge book. Maybe it's good. It's politics. Number 55 is William Harvey, physiology. That's okay. He helped argue that the blood circulates. That people didn't even know that the blood circulates. Now at 56, Ernest Rutherford. He worked at McGill University for a while. The scientist, physicist. I think he gave a model of the atom with a nucleus and then electrons around it. Then 57 is John Calvin. I think he's also a Protestant sect of Christianity. 58 is Gregor Mendel. He gave laws of heredity or genetics. He introduced chance into biology. You have recessive genes and dominant genes, and you very often it explains, because a lot of times, the children have nothing to do with their parents. Some leaders wanted even divorced their wife so they can have kids to go on, but that's, I think, partly why you have democracy today, because even if the father is a good king, doesn't mean that his son will be a good king also. So now you have a democracy. You elect leaders. It's no longer inheritance. Number 59 is Max Planck. You have Planck's constant, physics. Number 60, Joseph Lister. 61, Nicolas Auguste Otto. 62, Francisco Pizarro. 63, Hernando Cortez. 64 is Thomas Jefferson. Of course, he was a president of the United States, I think. 65, Queen Isabella I. Like I said, I think she's the one who financed Christopher Columbus. So in a way, she becomes important, even though his discovery was by accident. Because America now has the richest land in the world. In New York and California and all that, and etc. So it makes you wonder. Also, some people wonder why we should go to outer space. But same like Christopher Columbus discovering America, we have a lot of land in the cosmos. We become, the planet Earth is becoming overpopulated. So we can go to other planets, to the moon and all that. We're getting technology to be able to fix it. Don't forget, the sun is natural, but all the sun is nuclear bombs exploding per second. Like you have 1,000 nuclear bombs exploding per second on the surface of the sun, and we know how to create nuclear bombs now. So we have in science fiction, they have terraforming, so we can prepare then planets for habitation. I never heard anybody say it, but one thing you can simply do is, with the power of nuclear power, you can move planets and moons into better orbits. Like the Earth is a very good orbit around the sun. If it moves a bit, we'll all die. So other planets, we can move them into better orbits around the sun, so it will be more livable. Okay, I better go fast. I'm running out of space. So anyway, so we can move planets into the right space and so make them livable. Okay, so maybe space exploration. Although we have a lot of room in Australia and in Canada, which can be used also. It's empty, a lot of space. Okay, so number 66 is Joseph Stalin, that was USSR. He was seen as a dictator also. Number 67, Julius Caesar, also an emperor. I think he was killed in the end. 68 was William the Conqueror. 69, Sigmund Freud. Well, that was psychoanalysis, using the unconscious, causes symptoms, bring it to the conscious level. 70, Edward Jenner. 71, William Conrad Röntgen. He discovered X-rays, got a Nobel Prize for that, the first one. But he found it by accident. He gave a lethal dose to his wife. 72, Johann Sebastian Bach, another musician, classical music. 73, Lao Tzu. 74, Voltaire, I think he's a philosopher. 75, Johannes Kepler, also a scientist. He gave laws of the cosmos, so he inspired Newton. 76, Enrico Fermi. He actually developed a nuclear reactor at the basement of a university. So he could have destroyed the university because it's a lot of power, nuclear power. So 77, Leonhard Euler. He did a lot of mathematics. I think number theory mostly. 78, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, philosopher, etc. 79, Niccolo Machiavelli, philosopher, politics. 80, Thomas Malthus. 81, John F. Kennedy, President of the United States, assassinated. He began the space program. 82, Gregory Pinchas, biomedical engineering. I think he came up with the birth control pill. Overpopulation. 83, money. 84, Lenin, also Soviet Union. 85, Sui 1T. 86, Vasco da Gama. 87, Cyrus the Great. 88, Peter the Great. I think Peter the Great is USSR. 89 is Mao Zedong. He was leader of China for a long time, 20th century. 90, Francis Bacon, scientist. 91, Henry Ford, engineer, the production line. You can have a car any color as long as it's black. 92, Mencius, Chinese philosopher. 93, Zoroaster, a long time ago. 94, Queen Elizabeth I. She was considered a great queen. 95, Mikhail Gorbachev, leader of USSR. 96, Menes. 97, Charlemagne. 98, Homer. He wrote novels. 99, Justinian I, and 100, Mahavira. Okay, there's also honorary mentions that he has here. St. Thomas Aquinas, well, I think he should be much higher. Archimedes also number 2. Charles Babbage, computers. Archimedes, it was St. Thomas Aquinas, religion. Archimedes, geometry. Charles Babbage, computers. Cheops, I don't know. Marie Curie, nuclear physics. Benjamin Franklin, electricity. Mahatma Gandhi, resistance. Abraham Lincoln, Civil War. Ferdinand Magellan, also explorer. Leonardo da Vinci, I don't know. They don't really use much of what he said, but he had a lot of ideas, but he was also a painter. Okay, so that's basically it. Olive Hart from 1992. I'll record now the one for A&E, the top 10 that I remember. I hope I remember all 10 of them, most influential people.